Okay, I'll go ahead and call today's traffic committee meeting to order. Today's Tuesday, November 12th, and it's 3:03 p.m. We'll go ahead and start with introductions. I'm Brian Cervantes with the Engineering Division.
I'm Maria Fraser with the Engineering Division.
Michael Lloyd with the Engineering Division as well.
Jana Robbins with Traffic Division.
Joanne Burns, Deputy Community Development Director.
Robert Ortega, CIP Project Manager.
Eric Street, the Traffic Bureau Supervisor for the Police Department.
Perfect. So we'll go ahead and jump into our second item, which is the traffic committee items taken to the previous traffic committee meeting. The items that were brought last month were the traffic review of 1238 West Cameron Avenue, the traffic review of Temple Avenue and East Woodgate Circle, the traffic review of Nelson Street and Fairgrove Avenue, the traffic review of Lark Allen Avenue and Roland Avenue, and the traffic review of Barranca Street and Garvey Avenue South. So those items were all approved and will go council for final approval. The next item on the agenda is the new traffic committee items. The first of which is the traffic review of West Pacific Lane and North Chalburn Avenue. So for this request, a request for a line of sight review at the intersection of West Pacific Lane and North Chalburn Avenue. The resident explained that it's difficult to see oncoming traffic along West Pacific Lane when turning from North Chalburn Avenue. The resident reported to have experienced close calls for collisions, and the resident is requesting the installation of red curb at the intersection. For the existing conditions, for both West Pacific Lane and North Chalburn Avenue, it's a 25-mile-per-hour speed limit. Both are local roads per the Caltrans road classification system map. There is existing 50 feet of red curb on the south side of Pacific Lane at the intersection. The street widths for both streets, for the east leg of the intersection, Pacific Lane's 40 feet, whereas on the west leg of Pacific Lane, it's 32 feet, with Chalburn Avenue being 30 feet wide. There's one lane of travel in each direction with a single yellow dash center line separating both directions of travel. And parking is allowed on the street except along segments marked with red curb and on street sweeping on Tuesdays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. As well, a traffic review was done through the statewide integrated traffic record system, or SWITRS, over approximately a 3 and 3/4 year period between January 2021 through October of 2024. During this review of the collision history, it was found that there was no collisions at the intersection. Additionally, a field visit was conducted and site photos were taken by staff on November 1st of 2024. Now, based on engineering judgment and warrants found in the California Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices, or CAMUTCD, and California Vehicle Code, or CVC, it was determined that the intersection of Pacific Lane and Chalburn Avenue would benefit from the installation of red curb at the corners of the intersection to improve line of sight visibility for vehicles turning onto Pacific Lane from Chalburn Avenue. And the recommendation is to install 20 feet of red curb along the north side Pacific Lane at the northwest corner of the intersection with Chalburn Avenue, and install an additional 7 feet of red curb along the north side Pacific Lane at the northeast corner of the intersection with Chalburn Avenue, for a total of 20 feet of red curb along that corner.
Any questions or comments on the panel?
None here.
So we're gonna add a total of 20 feet. It looks like there's parking ticks in the front. Are we, with that 7 feet addition, are we removing a parking spot? And will there still be a parking space? We don't, do you have, Google on there?
Yeah.
Is this for the traffic?
Yes.
Yes.
Joan?
Yes, of course, come on in.
I'm a student.
So it looks like the parking tick would need to be adjusted, Jana.
So we're gonna remove one parking
One,
tick?
probably.
Mm-hmm.
because it's where the Jeep is, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
That
so
we're
we need
adding.
7 more feet, right?
Yeah. Can you see, is there a parking spot between the Jeep and the white car? Or is that a
No.
non?
Well,
Is
the
it-
tick next six right here.
Probably because there is a pathway right there. No?
I mean, you might, in
No.
theory, be able to park there, but it'd have to be a smaller car, like a Fiat, Mini Cooper.
So basically, we either put the red extended in front of that path to that first space, or we have to go back and adjust all the parking ticks from the white car down, well, one.
Could you go the other way? See how many do we have?
Two
right here,
places,
two right
one,
there, so
two.
2 per house roughly.
Okay, so
Hmm. That's a good question, if you're gonna,
because do you know if we add the 7 feet, it's like half the Jeep?
Mm-hmm.
Is there room? What is the distance between that parking tick and that?
About 20 feet, 19 feet, probably.
So then we're taking 7 feet of it, so then there will only be 12 feet left. So it may be wiser to just do red the whole way to that first parking tick, unless we think a motorcycle's gonna park there. But we don't want someone to park there and hang over into the red. Or cover half the spot and then it throws everybody else off. So how much, what did you say, approximately?
About 19 feet.
So we would need to add 20 feet instead of 7 feet.
Mm-hmm.
so at 20 feet.
And remove the concrete mark, or asphalt marking, correct?
Yes, we would need to remove the parking tick, the existing.
Is there a place to park around the corner, because I can see someone,
Yeah, there's parking right
Um,
here.
Right, for the house. And we do
Okay.
have a resident on this?
Yes.
Is this the one? So why don't we hear what you have to say before we make our final recommendation?
Well, actually, I don't have anything to
Oh.
say now because my request was going to be if we could extend the red paint, only because it's really hard to see. And a lot of times, we have big cars parked there, and it's really hard to see when we turn.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
So
yeah.
you're good if we, is that your house right there?
Yeah, it
Okay,
is.
so you're okay if we go the red to that first white car?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I would prefer if you could go further, but I just came here just to make myself available in case you
Okay.
have questions.
because that was my concern, that the resident would say, well, now we're losing.
Right, were
parking.
you losing
But
parking?
if she's here
But
and she's
yeah.
okay with it, then.
Okay,
that
so
makes it a
what we're
non-issue.
gonna do is instead of 7 feet, do the 20 feet up until that first parking tick. Because unless it's safety issue, we don't wanna remove parking. And I know people are kind of thing about people parking in front of their house. But this is kind of our day and age today, is that we need to keep the on-street parking so that as long as it's safe, people can see around it and stuff, so. Okay, so our recommendation is to do, instead of 7 feet, the 20 feet to that first parking tick. And then we don't have to adjust the parking ticks either, so that's less maintenance. Do we all agree on that?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Okay, Eric?
Yep.
Okay. All right, that will be our recommendation.
All right, then we'll move on to our second item for the new traffic committee items. The second item is the traffic review of West Merced Avenue between Orange Avenue and Sunset Avenue. And for this request, the resident is requesting a traffic review of the existing mid-block crosswalk located along West Merced Avenue between South Sunset Avenue and South Trojan Way. The resident explained that vehicles do not yield for pedestrians when they cross the street. It was reported that on several occasions, students have almost been hit by vehicles traveling at high speeds. For the existing conditions along this segment, Merced Avenue has a 40 mile per hour speed limit with a 25 mile per hour school zone. Merced Avenue is classified as a minor arterial road. The ADT along Merced Avenue is 12,531 vehicles average daily trips, with the 24-hour speed survey being 43 miles per hour. The adjacent land use to this segment does have Edgewood High School on the southwest side. The school has a start time of 8:30 a.m. and an end time of roughly 3:30 p.m. and has approximately 873 students between grades 9 through 12. Merced Avenue is 60 feet in width and has 2 lanes in each direction. For the westbound direction, those lanes are 12 feet and 10 feet, whereas the eastbound is 18 and 10 feet wide. Merced Avenue does allow parking on the south side, except segments marked by red curb. On both sides of the segment, Merced Avenue is signal controlled, and that's going to be at South Sunset Avenue and South Orange Avenue. And as well, we did look at collision data from Switters over approximately a 3 3/4 year period between January 2021 through October 2024. And from that review, it was found that there was 4 collisions along this segment during that time period. Additionally, average daily traffic data was obtained from counts taken on Tuesday, September 17th of 2024, and counts were taken along Merced Avenue west of Trojan Way. In the eastbound direction, on the day that counts were taken, there were 6,727 vehicles that day. In the westbound direction, it was 5,804 vehicles for a total of 12,531 vehicles on the day that counts were taken. Additionally, a 24-hour speed survey was taken on Tuesday, September 17th along Merced Avenue west of Trojan Way. From the 24-hour speed survey, it was found that the 85th percentile speed was 43 miles per hour, and that the posted limit along this segment is 40 miles per hour regularly with a 25 mile per hour school zone. Additionally, pedestrian counts were conducted on Monday, September 30th of 2024 for all pedestrians that crossed Merced Avenue at the mid-block crosswalk, and those counts were taken during the peak hours of 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., and 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. From this, it was found that during those times, it was found there was 75 adult pedestrians, 142 school-age pedestrians, for a total of 217 pedestrians that used the crosswalk during those time periods. And to assess the number of possible vehicle versus pedestrian conflicts encountered at the mid-block crosswalk, traffic counts were taken along Merced Avenue during the typical heaviest peak hours on Monday, September 30th of 2024, and these counts were taken during the hours of 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., and 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And the following figures show the number of pedestrian crossing the street, and the number of vehicles driving through the crosswalk during those same peak hours. And additionally, a field visit was conducted and photos were taken on November 1st of 2024 for this location. Now, based on engineering judgment and warrants found in the CAM, UTCD, and CVC, it was concluded that Merced Avenue between Orange Avenue and Trojan Way would benefit from upgrades in signage. This includes replacing faded signage along the segment, as well as the installation of new signage. These updates will aim to increase pedestrian visibility and awareness for drivers as they approach the mid-block crosswalk along Merced Avenue. And the recommendations are to install pedestrian crossing ahead warning sign for north-westbound traffic along Merced Avenue, remove and replace faded pedestrian crossing ahead warning sign for southeastbound traffic, remove and replace damaged yield here to pedestrian within crosswalk sign that is located at the mid-block crosswalk on Merced Avenue, and replace signs for the southeastbound and northwestbound traffic along Merced Avenue. Remove and replace the faded 25 mile per hour in school zone signs located at the following locations: on the north side of Merced Avenue at the intersection with Trojan Way for northwestbound traffic, and the south side of Merced Avenue, approximately 100 feet west of Orange Avenue for southeastbound traffic.
Okay, this location already has the RRFB, the flashing beacon. It just,
That's what I was looking for.
yeah,
I didn't
on
see it.
page, the very first page, so it already has that. So the crosswalk is necessary. There's a lot of pedestrians. It looks like there was one pedestrian collision that was 500 feet. Where is I looking? From Orange. From Orange. So it's probably somewhere in front of the high school. Northbound, they were crossing. So this doesn't say if they, you know, were in the crosswalk, were they to the side of it? It just says northbound ped, so. So I guess our recommendations are to replace any faded sign, and maybe since Officer Street is here, we can ask that some spot enforcement can be done at this crosswalk so that we can get a handle on those cars that are not stopping for pedestrians crossing, especially during school times. Normally, if there's a lot of pedestrians crossing at once, people will obey it. It's only, not only, but a lot of the time, it's that random pedestrian at 6 o'clock or something that's crossing, you know, this is by a high school. I'm not saying it was the pedestrian's fault or anything. I'm just saying that sometimes they're crossing mid-block, or they could be wearing dark clothes. So this way, people are more aware. This pedestrian collision happened in the daytime. It's just the only thing I don't know is if it happened in the crosswalk or was it mid-block. So our recommendations are to improve the signage where it is faded. Do we have any comments or questions? Maria or Michael?
No, I was just trying to find where the flashing,
At the page 1.
oh, right here.
Yeah, it's kind of small. If you can go to the Google, then it makes it clear, Brian.
You would think that would make a big difference. I know that the signage is kind of, you know, needs to be upgraded and everything, but you would think that would make a difference. So what we don't know is when this was installed versus when the accident happened.
Correct.
Maybe it is making a difference already, we just don't know.
Probably installed because the collision with the pedestrian was in October of 2023.
Okay.
So I'm sure,
And those were installed then?
Yeah.
I'm looking at 22 right now.
yeah.
Okay.
For that collision, it was at Merced and Orange.
It said 550 foot east. So it's to the, 500 feet, so
500.
measure, yeah, where's 500 feet from
It
Orange?
says they were hit by a driver making a left turn.
That's what I was trying
I
to
know,
figure out.
it's
Making
kind of
a
odd,
left.
yeah.
That's like
If
out
the guy was
school
going-
district.
Oh, they could have
Are you
been
coming
going
out of the
into
school
the,
district?
it could have been coming out of the parking lot
Yeah,
or
they
one of
weren't
the
even using the
parking lot.
crosswalk.
Yeah,
Westbound driver making a left turn, so I wonder if that's turning into the driveway of the north side of Edgewood, like by the track, that parking lot.
mm-hmm. Probably one of these, school lots. Looks like that one maybe.
Probably that one.
Yeah, westbound making a left turn would put them either, so it's going westbound, left turn would be going towards Edgewood.
Mm-hmm. Sitting in the two-way left turn pocket and the pedestrian was going northbound, so. So I'm not sure if enforcement would work at the crosswalk, but maybe that whole segment, they can kind of get an idea of what's going on.
We're making rotation to work through the schools. So
Yes.
it's on the list of
Okay, fantastic, great. And then, in the meantime, we are gonna update the PED signs that, and the school speed limit when children are present, so they're more, that neon green. So hopefully people will pay attention that they're in a school zone. And then, we'll have added PD, we'll put it on their rounds. Any other comments, questions? Okay. All right, this one will go also. And no residents on that item.
Alrighty. Then our next item and our last of new traffic committee items for today is going to be the traffic review of Service Avenue between Lark Ellen Avenue and Belinda Avenue. This request was for a review of the existing conditions along the segment of Service Avenue between Lark Ellen Avenue and Belinda Avenue. It was reported that vehicles traveling along this segment tend to drive above the speed limit. It was requested to investigate possible traffic calming measures for this segment of Service Avenue. Now, for the existing conditions, there is a posted 25-mile-per-hour speed limit. Service Avenue is classified by Caltrans road system classification maps as a local road. The segment is about 2,700 feet with single-family residential on both sides of the street. At the intersection with Belinda Avenue, there is a traffic signal control for that intersection, and with Services intersection with Lark Ellen Avenue, it's stop controlled for Service Avenue. Service Avenue is 40 feet wide with one 20-foot lane of travel in each direction with a yellow dash center line. Parking is allowed along this segment except where red curb is marked. And additionally, a collision data was obtained from Switters over approximately a 3 3/4 year period between January 2021 through October 2024. From this review, it was found that there was one collision during along the segment. Additionally, average daily traffic data was obtained from counts taken on Tuesday, September 17th of 2024. Counts were taken along Service Avenue near Pima Avenue. In the eastbound direction, it was found that there was 668 vehicles per day, whereas in the westbound direction, there was 701 vehicles per day, for a total of 1,369 vehicles per day. And additionally, a 24-hour speed survey was taken along Service Avenue near Pima Avenue. The survey was taken on Tuesday, September 17th from 2024, and it was found that the 85th percentile speed was 40 miles per hour, with the posted speed limit being 25 miles per hour. Additionally, a field visit was conducted and site photos were taken on November 1st of 2024. And based on engineering judgment and warrants found in the CAM, UTCD, and CVC, it was determined that the segment of Service Avenue between Belinda Avenue and Lark Ellen Avenue would benefit from the installation of additional traffic calming measures to reduce vehicle speeds. And the recommendations are to install a 25 pavement legend adjacent to the existing speed limit sign located on the south side of Service Avenue for eastbound traffic. Install 25 pavement legend adjacent to the existing speed limit sign located on the north side of Service Avenue for westbound traffic. And to install 10-foot side stripes along the north and south sides of Service Avenue from Belinda Avenue to Lark Ellen Avenue.
Okay, this one, at least the speed came in at a lot higher than the posted speed limit. So we needed to do something. At least there's not a lot of vehicles. There's 1,300 vehicles, but one collision which a car hit a parked car. So if we add the side stripes, that will also provide a place for designated a stripe right before they park. So maybe it will be visually. So these are more visual cues of traffic calming. Are we going to also restripe the yellow center line? At least in the pictures, it looks kind of faded.
Doesn't look like it was recommended, but we could add it.
I would. Because that will bring more awareness to
Yeah.
the road.
Because it's
segment.
a 40-foot street, right? So 40 foot, we need a 10-foot travel lane, so. I mean, normally we put 8 foot, but then that would allow for 2 12-foot.
Because having both lanes, then it will kind of like channel people a little bit more.
The only thing I'm thinking then, not to keep adding stuff here,
I
is
know. I think you're
that
thinking what I'm thinking.
we don't want to make it look like a travel lane, like 2 lanes going through, because it is 10 feet wide. If we put the diagonal stripes, every 20, 25 feet or whatever, just to make sure they know that it's not a travel lane, because cars may or may not be parking there all day. So during the day, maybe they're at work or something, so when cars are not there, we may want to put the diagonal white lines within the side stripes.
Do you think that will deter people? People complain because now they're thinking they can't park because you have because not everybody understands traffic.
Right, we may have to do a little resident awareness of what
Okay.
it is they're doing. So we could let them know that it's still okay to park there, we just don't want people driving there.
No, yeah. I'm just thinking they may
Yeah.
get confused.
No,
with
that's
some
a good
people that
idea.
They might just say, oh my gosh, now you're taking my parking away.
Yes.
Because they're thinking that they can't park anymore.
So I'm hearing that we would restripe the yellow center, and then add the diagonal white stripes in the parking area.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we in agreement of that? I guess if Officer Street, if your guys are out there, we know this area has high speed. So
It's been
we'll
that
also
way
keep an eye on
for a
it.
long time, yeah. Worked that quite a bit.
Oh, okay, great. So it's already, so, all right, so then that's what our recommendations will be, and we'll go forward with that. Okay, that's all of our regular agenda items, and we do have a resident for Mr. Ochoa.
Yes,
Would you like, and this is for the Garvey Avenue South as it goes to Cherrywood, correct?
yes, both ends.
Both ends?
Yes, from Lark Allen and East Garvey Avenue South, and then the one from Azusa, traveling westbound on Garvey Avenue South.
Okay, you want to give us an update on
Yeah.
your,
So
because we
still-
do have
still-
a couple of new members, so.
Okay, hi, everybody. Albert Ochoa, I reported that big semi-trucks, commercial motor vehicles, 18-wheelers are driving to the residence. It's posted on both ends, on Lark Allen and on Azusa, traveling eastbound and westbound. And every so often, they continue to go through there. They caused 2 accidents, one in July of 2023, knocked down the street light posts, concrete posts, and it happened again this year, 2024, in July again. There's a power line next to it. They're traveling the curb with their trailers, long trailers. They're traveling their axle tires, and I believe I submitted the pictures already, but you can see, and I have pictures of trucks where their axle tires are actually on the curb. So these are the pictures that I submitted, and the street posts that they knocked down. So I'm just here trying to see how we can prevent it. I know you guys are looking into it. I'm following up just to see any new information that you guys can give me, or something I have, which I went back out there again, and we know on the east side of Azusa and Garvey Avenue, by posting it, the signs up high, I'm sure that's gonna make the big difference right there. We talked about that. The one over on South Glendora, and next to Service, where it actually splits up. So if you're traveling on South Glendora northbound, it splits up onto Vincent. It's posted truck route. So we're telling them they can go there. In reality, I don't see they have any business in that area. unless they're, again, they're making a delivery, but you don't need a 18-wheeler coming in, continue going through the lakes, which now it goes right to Garvey, across Lark Allen, into Garvey Avenue, which is going through my residence, and that's where they're causing the issue. So I believe if we were to remove that, that's be one that's gonna tell them they can go on Glendora, South Glendora Avenue northbound. One arrow, we can probably leave the next arrow, which is Vincent, they turn into Vincent, that's a big street, truck route, that's fine. But I think it's because we're leading them into it. And then again, once they cross West Covina Parkway and South Glendora Avenue, continue northbound, then it's too late. I believe if we were to post right on that area, no truck route, no trucks on West Covina Parkway and South Glendora, that should stop those trucks that are going northbound right now. I went out there, did my own study, looked at it. There's truckers that sit by the pizza place, which is fine, they want to eat, that's fine. But we just cannot allow them to go northbound, cross West Covina Parkway, because once they cross that, go into the lakes area on an 18-wheeler, they really have no place to turn around. Now they're gonna continue going straight, now that turns into East Garvey Avenue, and then that's what I mentioned to you guys last meeting, do they go left, right, or forward? Because we already have it posted, no trucks, but once they're in that area, now they make their own decision, well, which way do I go? And then once they get to my residence, it's where they're causing that accident, damage the street liners that they improved to our street. So we're back to square one. And that was just something that I looked at it and I said, well, you know what, I think that'll work. But I'm here to follow up and see if anything I can do, anything I can offer you guys. I do have cameras. I have, I don't know if, I know license plates mean a lot where you can track, but I don't know if I can get that all the time because they're usually smaller. So my cameras are in my front residence. But I have pictures of all the commercial trucks that I'd like to show you later, or if you'd like to see them now. We can see all these big, I'm talking about big trucks, 18-wheelers. I'm not talking about the small Amazon, FedEx, UPS trucks that deliver. They're usually under 24 feet. These are the big semis. So if there's anything that I can do on my part, I'll be more than happy to help you guys identify that what's what, but I think you guys need a license plate, and I don't know if I can get you that, because again, my camera's not gonna be able to zoom into that, at least that I know I can't get that right now. So whatever I can do to help out, I'll be, I'm here to help out. I just need to stop that so we can go back to being the way we were.
I can't remember last month when you came in, did you say they weren't any specific time, it was just
It's
random, right?
Random,
Yeah.
yes. I've been trying to log it, but yeah, it's random.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I can get it
There's
where I
no
can say
pattern
on
that
Tuesdays,
says- yeah.
this is when they're coming in, and then we can probably put a stop to it, but I think once we do this improvement, that should wake them up.
Okay.
Again, if I'm traveling, I'm using myself, I'm traveling northbound on Azusa just before Garvey, and if we put truck route going straight ahead, then that's already telling them, you can't go left. So if I'm gonna go on my left-hand turn, I'll be like, okay, it's already posted up on top on the intersection, signal light, then you know you can't go. But right now, I think we mentioned to you that post is inside about 20, 30, 40 feet, I'm not sure how far inside, they can't see that. And there's nothing right now telling them that which way is a truck route, which most drivers should know a truck route is a big intersection. But they're turning into the residence, one lane, each
Yeah.
direction. So,
And I
yeah,
think you
I
said
think just
they-
by those improvements will
Right,
make a
they-
big difference.
They wiped out the channelizer posts on the curve, right?
Yes. So I think we have about 8 of them missing right now. They're already broken. They're not even there no more.
Okay.
And some are dangling, they're on the last leg. So that's why I just wanted to make sure. I know sometimes, I have neighbors said, when are they gonna fix this? And I'm saying I'm working on it because it doesn't look good. It looked like I'm not gonna say a war zone because the war zone's all damaged, but it's not organized. I guess it looks ugly. I guess maybe I could put it that way. It looks ugly. It looked nice when it was all set up, but now that it's all damaged and you're missing a lot of deliners, now it doesn't look proper.
Okay, well, we have your maps from last time, I have them here, and then Brian, you want to give a little update?
Yeah, so right now we're still reviewing the existing signage. So for example, on the mast arm, we have to confirm that the mast arm itself can handle the load of the extra sign, not in terms of weight, but more so wind and that type of stuff to make sure that it's a small sign, but still want to cross our T's, dot our I's is the saying for that
Okay.
one. So we're still doing that type of stuff, but I mean, we're getting near completion. I have your email here, so as soon as it's ready, come to traffic committee, we'll email you, let you know that. Like I told, I know before, I'm going to send you just a confirmation email as well.
Sure.
So that way you don't, you'd still always welcome come, but
Sure.
so you could always email if it's mid-month or whatnot and get better if your neighbors are asking and whatnot. That way you don't have to wait till the next traffic committee meeting. That way you can email and get an actual 100% up-to-date answer on that.
Okay, great, appreciate it.
All right.
And I know to get traffic enforcement off the street, I know it's hard because we don't have a time or day when it gets like that. But, yeah, if there's any time, there's an officer in that area, Cherrywood and Garvey Avenue, just pass by there. I know you guys go by there already, just to spare in a few minutes. I mean, you might be able to catch some of these commercial vehicles that shouldn't be in that area. So again, if something I can help out, let me know. I usually send it to Lieutenant Daniel, Ryan. Send him the email, send him the pictures. But, you know, like he says, we'll do some enforcement, but I can't have you guys sit there. I mean, there's no way you guys are gonna sit there with the truck's not gonna come we don't know when it's gonna come. So I just don't know how to do it, but I think once we do improvement over here, I think that would help a lot. All right, that's all I got.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll keep you informed, and we are looking at it, so we'll get on that. Okay, Brian?
Yep.
I think,
Then if there's no more committee member comments on items on the agenda, then we can go ahead and wrap up. Our next meeting will be the second Tuesday in December. Thank you.
Thank you.